Part 6, context. Question by the court. Okay. And again, in keeping with that similar analysis, order you committed to the Indiana Department of Correction for a period of 2 years each. On counts 7 and 8, there being separate victims in each of those counts. Order those counts to run consecutively with one another. Count 9, criminal gang activity, a Class D felony. Order you committed to the Department of Correction for a period of 2 years, and order those to run, that charge to run concurrent with the others. So I think that we have here, if my math is correct, on counts 1 through 4, we have a 100, subhanAllah, we have a 160 years. On count 6, we have 6 years. Count 7, 2 years. Count 8, 2 years. Consecutively as an additional 10. Counts 8 and 9, no, counts 5 and 9 to run concurrent with the others. So we have a total aggregate sentence of 170 years. Defendant's costs and jail time credit, I'll bet we don't. A copy of the judgment of conviction and sentence appears at the end of this brief. Martin received an aggregate sentence of 160 years on the 4 attempt murder charges. On March 11, 2013, Martin filed his notice of appeal. Statement of facts. On September 9, 2012, Martin, Trinelius Jackson, Alfonso Chappelle, and others were at a bar in Fort Wayne, Indiana. A fight broke out and Jermaine Loyal was stabbed. Transcript 69 through 72. Paramedics Diana M. Lance and Jerome Yarden responded and loaded Loyal into their ambulance driven by Fort Wayne firefighter Eric Ziegler. Transcripts 39. Loyal's sisters, Dominic Loyal and Latasha N. Loyal, and their friend, LaShonda S. Conwell, were following the ambulance to the hospital in their vehicle. Transcripts 89 and 90. Chappelle, Martin, and Jackson were in a vehicle driven by Chappelle, and they were also following the ambulance. As their vehicle approached the ambulance and the vehicle occupied by Loyal's sisters, gunshots were fired from the passenger side of the Chappelle vehicle into the ambulance and the other car. Trial transcripts, page 26. The shots were fired by Jackson, who was in the front passenger seat, and Martin, who was in the back passenger seat. Now I have to pause just for a second. These things are not necessarily literal facts. These are what was testified to and the evidence that was produced or made known at trial. So just because it says Martin, who was in the back passenger seat, saying that I fired shots, the shots were fired, just because it says that does not mean that that's true. Alhamdulillah. We got to put that out there. Cameraman, where we at? What time we at, man?
3:21.
3:21. And the last thing I read was Martin, who was in the back passenger seat. Trial transcripts 153 through 157. We're going to take a break right there and get back with y'all for part 7, inshallah.